America, our theme today has been, the Mideast is set on fire. And we showed you all these different things. And I told you that I take a stand with Israel. And I want you to know that I take a stand with Israel. I've made an accounting of who I am and what I believe in. And, I'm lucky enough, believe it or not, I say this, I'm lucky enough to be a guy who's lost everything before. So I don't care. The only thing I don't want to lose is my soul. Because I lost my word and integrity and everything else. I've already lost that once. So I don't care. You take everything away from me. It doesn't matter to me. You have to do what you feel is the right thing because the times call for it. We showed you some video yesterday, and I want you to go to glennbeck.com and see this video and this report, amazing report, on the 12th Imam. And how the 12th Imam is, they're teaching their kids, and they're, believe it or not, they're subjects, I guess, in Iran, that Ahmadinejad is the guy who's been authorized to bring back the 12th Imam. Well, that means that he's got to set the world on fire and wash it with blood. We're going to do a special on this on Friday, or I think it's on Thursday. Tiffany, is it Thursday? You've got to see this. It's not good. So when you have everybody going for chaos and the world is in chaos, where do you go from here? What do? You go to these, which is what we told you, when? A year and a half ago. It's faith, hope, and charity. I mean, you've got to look at faith, hope, and charity and realize that this is truly the answer. Truly the answer. What's the guy's name, that Quran guy, the preacher that was going to burn the Quran? I remember when I was on vacation, and that guy was out there, and he was going to burn the Quran, and I'm on vacation, and what happens? The Pakistani ambassador says, "Hey, where's Glenn Beck's stand on this?" You got to tell him. What? You're kidding me. Where does Glenn Beck stand on this? I was actually fishing. I got out of the boat and I started walking back to the house, and I'm thinking, where does Glenn Beck stand on this? How does the Pakistani ambassador even know who I am? And then I realized, wait a minute. Who the hell do I think I am that I would get out of a fishing boat and go try to release a statement? I don't care who he thinks I am. I know who I am, and I'm not a guy who's making a statement on that. I'm pretty clear on that. Don't burn the Quran. The first time that I met Alveda King, she said to me on the set, she came up to me and she grabbed my hand and she said, "I know what you're doing here because my uncle taught that faith, hope, and charity." He taught faith, hope, and love. Faith, hope, and love. Well, that ain't burning the Quran. When I saw Christians in front of the White House shouting at the man praying to Allah, who prays there every day, I thought, what are we doing? Terry Jones was there. Terry Jones. He's the guy burning the Quran. Don't hate. Love and pray. Well, apparently Terry Jones did wind up burning the Quran after some sort of mock trial and finding the Quran guilty of crimes. All Americans, left and right, should find this to be ridiculous. A book kills people. That's as ridiculous as saying that guns kill people. No. People kill people, not guns and not books. I guess we have a video of this guy, but I'm not going to play it for you tonight. I don't take this guy seriously, and you shouldn't either. He's all about giving him attention. We're not going to give him any. I just want to make this point. This is the answer. And it comes from within inside. If I'm not mistaken, Christianity teaches us that Jesus came, he had to set father against son, and vice versa, and set things on fire, but he didn't do it with matches. He did it with truth and love. The Quran guy who burned the book, he did it with matches. Now, he tried to do something symbolic. Well, somebody else chose to do a symbolic ritual of their own. Except they didn't use a book, they used people. According to Asia News, on March 25th, a mob of Islamic extremists attacked a Pentecostal church in India, killing 2 Christians and burning some of the copies of the Bible. Eyewitnesses say the fundamentalists stormed the place of worship looking to set it on fire. But a group of believers defended the church. Security forces have fled the scene, leaving those present at the mercy of the crowd. And in that crowd, there is no mercy. Which side do you stand on, America? The attackers hurled anti-Christian slogans, and a feeling of anger towards the religious minority has spread all over the Middle East. In the city, the pastor of the church reports that despite the condemnation of the burning of the Quran, the community has come under attack because they think we're linked to the American church. Hatred is not good. I have to tell you, I have a hard time sometimes watching speeches or watching things, and I think, because I really truly believe somebody is destroying my country, it is very hard for me not to say, I hate that guy or I hate that woman. But I don't. And I will be condemned just as much as anyone else if that's what I say and believe and feel. It is natural to be angry. It is natural when somebody is abusing to feel that way. We must not. We must rise above it. The only thing we can control, we cannot control our situation, we cannot control our world, we can't control anything. Geez, I can't control my dog, let alone my children. The only thing I can control is our action and reaction. Acts of violence are personal. This guy who's doing the Quran burning, he's not responsible for the crazy people, but he is responsible for his own actions. All of us are responsible for that. And the choices that we make, even if that choice is to sit by silently and say nothing, it's only going to get harder from here. And we will be held in a higher court. And that's really the only one I'm worried about. I guess I bring this to you tonight because I think things are getting spookier in the Middle East, quite honestly. I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's it. And the solution is behind me and in front of you. Love, faith, hope, charity. I want to talk to you a little bit here about now our financial house and getting it in order. How much more debt can a government take on before it really gets into trouble? The economists at the IMF have taken a shot at looking at this. They've calculated how much more debt each country could take on before reaching its limit. There are countries that can't handle anymore. There are 5 of them that are already maxed out. Let me show them to you. It's Japan, Greece, Portugal, Italy, and Iceland. And Japan, of course, makes sense because look how much money they're going to spend. Unfortunately, this was all calculated before Japan's tsunami happened. So what does that mean now? Why didn't anyone, why is it that nobody really talked about the debt tsunami? All they talked about was the nukes. And by the way, in an unrelated story, did you see that Angela Merkel lost that re-election vote? Yeah, they said the whole thing turned on the Japanese nukes. Anyway, so these are the countries. But now, what about our country? We've already got, what, $14 trillion in debt? According to the IMF, the U.S. can add debt equal to 51% of the GDP before reaching its limit. So what is that, about $7 trillion? We can spend that by Christmas. We're getting there, gang. So what do we do now? Well, the Wall Street Journal has offered possible solutions, and you're going to love these solutions. Countries that have their own currencies, such as the U.S. and U.K., can devalue their debts through inflation, print more money. Wait a minute, they tried that in Germany, I think, and Zimbabwe. Or governments can require or persuade banks and pension funds and other institutions to force them to buy low-yielding government debt, treasury bonds. But the government has also a new idea to help you out. Oh, wait for it. Oh, wait for it. You're going to love this. A new idea on what the government has cooked up to get us out of this mess. Next. Alrighty then. So the government is saying, hey, we've got some suggestions for you. There's a couple things we can do to get us out of debt. We could, A, inflate the money supply. This according to the Wall Street Journal. 2, force people to buy T-bills. Right. Neither of those sound like a good idea. We could cut our spending. No. Now, remember this. Cash for clunkers. It failed. That's where we gave cash for cars. Then cash for caulkers. That's where we gave cash for refrigerators, and that failed. Now they're proposing, this is Sheila Baer's idea. She's at the FDIC. Sheila, I've heard stories. You're quite the thinker. Cash for keys, where you turn in your house keys. So we've gone up from cars to houses. It would essentially pay delinquent borrowers up to $21,000 as an incentive to get out of their home. That is fantastic. That is great. Now, here's the problem. See, because we're trying to do this, inflate the money supply or force people to buy. The problem with all three of these is this is going to fail too. And what's it going to do? It's going to give people cash. This is the problem. If the government starts understanding that they don't have cash, maybe we could not worry so much about our debt. Maybe we could also cut back on favoritism for Obama's most loyal contributors, because that's not working out real well either. GE has built the system to the extent that they paid no income tax at all last year. That's right. They made a profit of $14.2 billion. Didn't pay a penny. They got TARP money and everything. That's weird. Good to be Obama's friend, huh? I'm just thinking out loud. Cash for clunkers, cash for caulkers, cash for keys. What do you think? Cash for crooks. Just think about it. From New York, good night, America.